let's start by activating those energy centers. So come to a comfortable seated position, right? Maybe we'll start in Sesh Pose Variation 1, which is generally easy pose. Some people like to cross at their ankles. I like to have the knife edge side of my foot in my shin crease, but just figure out what works for you here. And we'll start by just shaking our hands, right? Activating some of the energy center is our hands. Just shake it out. Let that movement come up your arms into your shoulders. So just shaking here. And then slow your shaking and come to do a little tapping on your chest. Start to tap the heart space, tap the lungs. Move the tapping down so that you're tapping your belly, front side, back side. Get your lower back, get your kidneys. And when your hands are behind you, lean back on your hands. Pick up your feet, bring your feet together and rub the soles of your feet. Activate the energy points in your feet. Create some friction, create some heat. And then come back to your easy pose. Notice how you feel now. I can feel my energy moving throughout the body. Right hand, all 4 fingers pressed together. On the lower part of your abdomen, so your thumb is about in line with your belly button. Left hand, all 4 fingers pressed together on top of the right. Pads of the thumbs are touching. So we're forming our first pyramid on our lower abdomen here. Shoulders down out of your ears. And we'll start our rule of 4 breathing. So when you're ready, exhale the stale air out. Inhale, expand your belly into your hands. Bring the air up towards your lungs. Pause at the top of the breath, the air circulating around your third eye. Exhale out through the mouth. Belly button pulls into your spine. Pause at the bottom of the exhale. So again, it's inhale. Pause and exhale. Pause. Start with some cleansing breaths here where you're exhaling audibly out of your mouth, getting rid of everything you no longer need. At your own pace, inhale. Pause and exhale. Pause. Keep your shoulders down out of your ears. Your chin is slightly tucked so that the back of your neck is long. Imagine there's a string that's pulling you up from the top of your head. As you inhale, the energy comes up your spine. Pause at the top of the inhale, circulates around your third eye. Exhale, bring that energy right back down. Let those jaws drop as you exhale. Release. Now, if you like, you can inhale and exhale just through your nose. And I also encourage you to try the Kachari Mudra. Tip of the tongue comes to the back of the teeth. Create a complete loop for your energy. Unite your masculine and feminine sides. Also helps you with your focus. If you hear an ocean-like sound between your ears, then your tongue lock is in the right place. Breathe. On your next exhale, release the breath. If you closed your eyes, you can open them. Again, notice how you feel now. We have an image of Sesh Pose Variation 1 on our screen here, but I'm about to remove it so that we can move into our next Sesh Pose. Come to your hands and knees. Hands and knees, you can start in a tabletop position. It's important here that we have the tops of the feet flat to the earth. And we'll slowly walk our hands back so we can stretch our ankles here, also stimulate those meridians in the top of the big toe. If this is not comfortable for you, you can always stand on your knees if that feels better, or you can use your hands here for support if you need to. Okay? But if you're comfortable here in this Sesh pose, we will also open our necks here. So hands just resting lightly on your knees. On an inhale, raise your vision up and your chin up just slightly. And breathe here. Keep your rule of 4 breathing. So you're inhaling, pause, and exhaling. Pause. Vision up, chin up just slightly. Just a slight opening. Perhaps you stay there. If you want more, you can slowly and mindfully release the head all the way back to open up the front of the throat. Ask your neck what it wants. Tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth. Then when you're ready, if you release your head all the way back, slowly on an inhale, bring your head back to center, slowly, slowly. And when you're ready, on an exhale, bring your chin towards your chest, opening up the back of the neck and the shoulders this time. Breathe. Relax your shoulders down out of your ears. When you're ready, on an inhale, slowly and mindfully bring your neck back up to center. And then as you exhale, lean forward, hands to the earth, back to tabletop. And give your body whatever stretch your lower legs need. Maybe you need to reach one foot back in a calf stretch and then the other foot back. Maybe you need to tap out your toes. Whatever feels good to you here. Maybe you need to wiggle or rotate. And then when you're ready, we'll come to our Sesh pose with our toes tucked. I warn you, this one is a bit more intense. You can just tuck your toes behind you. I like to come up to a little squat so that I'm on the balls of my feet and then lower my knees down to the earth. And for some of you, maybe you need to keep your hands on the earth as a support. Others of you may be able to rise with your hands on your thighs. Some of you might need to stand. Either way, you're still getting the opening on your toes and activating those energy centers. While we're here, inhale. Exhale, turn your head to look over your left shoulder, just your head. Open up your neck and your toes, breathe. Tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth. On an inhale, bring your head back to center. Exhale, turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Stay on your toes. We're almost finished. On your next inhale, bring your head back to center. Exhale, lean forward, hands to the earth. Give your toes what they need, a wiggle, a tap, whatever feels good here. Bring those toes back. All right, and here's our most advanced sesh pose if you'd like to try it. If not, you can return to the first variation where we're just sitting on our ankles. But if you'd like to try this image, first we'll bring our left foot forward. We'll bring our left foot forward here. You can bring your left elbow to your left knee and just rest your head in your hands and breathe. If you feel any pain, go back to our earlier variation. If you feel discomfort, try your best to breathe into it and stay. Commit to the shape. The tongue to the back of the teeth. Relax. On your next exhale, bring your hands down, bring your left knee back to the earth. Pick up your right foot. Right foot comes next to the left knee. Right elbow can come to the right knee. Rest your chin or your head in your hands. Tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth. Breathe. Remember, it's the inhale, pause, and exhale. Pause. On your next exhale, release your hands to the earth. Give your feet whatever they need. Again, maybe that's a tap. Maybe it's a rubber stretch. Tuck one toe behind you. Tuck the other toe behind you. Give your body what it needs here and then come to seated, flat on your bottom. We'll work on another geometric shape here, a diamond. Soles of the feet touching, knees out to the side. You don't want your diamond to be super tight, right? So wherever your diamond is, slide your feet out just a little bit. So you've got a lot of space there. Maybe your hands are sitting on your shin or maybe they're close to your ankles. Imagine that your pelvis is a bowl, right? And in order to keep the food in our bowl, we need the bowl to sit up like this. So we don't want the bowl too much tilted back, food would spill out. We don't want the bowl too much tilted forward, the food will spill out. Right? So sometimes I like to take my hands to my pelvis to make sure my bowl is in a good position here. My food is nice and steady. And then on an inhale, we get tall, shoulders down. And then exhale, we just hinge forward and find our first edge. Remember, the first edge is the place where you feel any sensation. So maybe you're right here, right? Maybe you're a little further. Wherever you are, commit to your stillness there and breathe. Do not push your elbows into your legs to make them go down further. This is a passive pose, not an active one. If you can round, let your head go, chin towards your chest. Breathe, tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth. Do you have another edge? If you can go deeper into the pose, let yourself surrender. If your body does not have another edge, stay where you are. Breathe. Do you have another edge? If so, you can surrender deeper into the pose. If not, stay where you are. On an inhale, slowly and mindfully start to rise. Walk your hands back, keep your legs where they are. Walk your hands back so they come up to your hips, then walk them back behind you so they're just behind your bottom, fingers pointing away. Lean back to release the hips first, then start to straighten your legs. One leg and then the other, gently, mindfully. Then give them what they need. Maybe you rock your hips from side to side. Maybe you like a little bounce, one leg then the other. Maybe you want to tap your legs. Let the blood flow start circulating again in this position. And then keep your legs straight out in front of you. And we'll come to our Kemetic Yoga pyramid pose. We are not flexing the feet. Remember, we're not activating the muscles here. So we're not flexing the feet even though they're long. This is an opportunity for you to use your blanket. We're going to form a pyramid under our knees. So you can take your blanket, fold it, roll it up, depending on how much space you need to be comfortable. Put it underneath your knees here so that your pyramid is supported by your blanket. You might move the flesh out from under your glutes so that you're sitting up. On an inhale, we'll sit up tall. Again, relax those feet and legs. Same as before. Check your pelvis. Make sure that your bowl is holding all of your food. And then exhale, just hinge forward. Find your first edge. Maybe your hands are on your thighs. Maybe they're at your knees. Maybe they're on your shins. Maybe you can reach down to your ankles or past your feet. But you're not pulling yourself down. You're just surrendering into the pose. Let your back round. Let your chin come closer to your chest. Yes. Tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth. Be with yourself here. Surrender. Do you have another edge? Do you have another edge? On your next inhale, slowly start to rise. Walk your hands back. Hands behind your hips, fingers point away. Lean back, release your hips. Gentle rock from side to side. You can pull your blanket out or your bolster from underneath your knees. Maybe you want to bounce your legs just a little bit. That feels good. Wiggle your toes. Give your body whatever it's asking for here. And then swing your legs around to the side and come back to tabletop. Keep your blanket nearby, near your chest this time. We'll come into melting heart pose. I promised you heart meridians. Also, another pyramid. So, knees slightly wider than your hips. Slightly wider than your hips, but your hips are still in alignment with your knees. Depending on how sensitive your knees are, you might want a little blanket or something else underneath your knees. We're going to keep our knees and hips exactly where they are, but walk our hands forward for melting heart pose. Ideally, your forehead will come towards the earth. If this doesn't work for you, you can put the blanket or your towel underneath your forehead to bring the earth up to you. You can put your blanket or your towel underneath your chest for support if that feels good to you. If neither of those options are working, you can also just lower your elbows down. That feels good for you. You're still getting the heart meridian stretch there. Find your first edge and breathe. Tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth. Those of you that I can see, you all look good. Inhale. Pause and exhale. Pause. Can you relax deeper into the pose? Some people can bring their nose or their chin to the earth, but be careful with your neck if you go that deeply. On your next inhale, start to rise. Walk your hands in so that you're closer to tabletop. But then lower your elbows down to the earth and walk your legs out behind you so that you're on your belly. And we're transitioning into Sphinx pose here. Tops of feet flat to the earth. Elbows are underneath your shoulders. Fingers spread wide. Again, we're not pressing into the earth. We're not pressing ourselves up. Just gentle compression, right? Surrender to the pose. Gentle compression of your low back. Vision is directly in front of you. Breathe. Tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth. On an exhale, swing your elbows out to the sides. Come all the way down on your belly. Stack your hands, left hand on top of the right, all 4 fingers touching. You can return to your pyramid with your thumbs touching here. Rest your head on your hands. You can rock your hips from side to side if that feels good on your low back here. Just take a moment and pause. Both our melting heart and our Sphinx pose were 4 minutes. And we'll transition now into our Kemetic lunges. So when you're ready, push yourself back up to tabletop. This time, your knees are hips width apart. Hips are stacked over your knees. We'll pick up our left foot and bring it to the outside of the mat. So the knife edge side of your left foot is on the edge of your mat. Knife edge side of your left foot is on the edge of your mat. You might want your blanket underneath this right knee. We'll be here for a little bit. You might need a little extra support. And maybe this is your first edge right here. When you rise and you put your hands on your knee, maybe this is enough for you. Maybe I can feel this in my quad for sure. If you want more, you can bring your hands to the earth, but the left hand comes inside the left leg, right? So left foot, outer edge of the mat, left hand inside the left leg. If you feel like your edge is going to start a little deeper than this, you can pick up those left toes, wiggle them back a little bit. Then, pick up your right toes, wiggle them back a little bit. Then bring your right knee down to the mat. And you might feel the sensation in both legs. But we'll be here. Find your first edge. Don't go all the way to begin. Find the first place where you have sensation and start to breathe. Tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth. Wiggle both sets of toes so they're not activated. We're not pressing hard into the mat. We're just surrendering into this Kemetic lunge. Let whatever comes up for you come up. Keep that tip of your tongue to the back of your teeth. Be with your body. We're about halfway. Some of you might have even more of an edge. You might be able to lower your elbows down to the mat. That's not a thing for me, but if it works for you, you can surrender more deeply if you like. And if you realize it's too much, you can always back up a little bit And come back to your knee if you fold it down. Just keep breathing. Inhale. Pause and exhale. Pause. We're almost there. If you came down to your elbows, come back up to your hands. If you're on your hands, on your next exhale, slowly, 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 straighten the back leg and then start to wiggle or slide that left foot back so that you're back to tabletop. You can give your body what it needs here. Maybe it wants some cat-cows. Maybe it just wants to wiggle. Maybe you want to tuck your toes. Lift your hips to the sky for a Kemetic pyramid. You can release one heel to the earth, then release the opposite heel to the earth, if you like. If you came up to pyramid, come down to your knees. Walk your knees out as wide as the mat. Bring your big toes to touch behind you. Shift your weight back to your heels. Sit on your heels, form a pyramid, Delta Rock Nation sign. Right? Bring this pyramid into the center of your forehead or your third eye, and then come down for pose of a child. Breathe and rest here. Kemetic Yoga, we call it Masu Heru, sons of Heru. Heru is the world's first savior figure. Keep your pyramids pressed into the earth. Rise up on your torso. Torso rises. Sorry, it wasn't on cue. Now you can open your pyramid. Come back to tabletop. We've got that other side to do. Walk your knees in. Bring that right foot forward this time. Knife edge side of the right foot to the edge of your mat. Again, maybe your first edge is right here, standing on your knee. Maybe you want to bring your hands inside the knee, right hand inside the right foot. Maybe if you want to start with more, you tuck those toes, wiggle them back a little bit. Bring that knee down. Find your first edge. Tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth. Kachari Mudra or tongue lock. Breathe. Remember that you're not stuck. It's best for your body to come out. You can, but if you can commit, commit. If you can go deeper, you can bring those elbows down and go deeper into the pose. Almost there. you fold it down to your elbows, come back up to your hands. Walk them back a little bit, straighten that left knee, slowly, slowly. Slide that right foot back so that you're back into tabletop. Maybe your runner stretch feels good, maybe cat-cow, maybe you rock your hips from side to side. Maybe you tuck those toes, lift the hips up, come back to pyramid. Give your body whatever it's calling for here. If you came up to pyramid, come back down to your knees. You can have your knees as wide as the mat again, or you might try keeping your knees and ankles close together this time. Sit back on your heels, return to your pyramid, Delta Rock Nation sign, the middle of your third eye. And then exhale, forward fold, Nasu Haru. Breathe. Press your pyramid into the earth as you lift your torso. Then release your pyramid, shift your weight fully back onto your heels, and then swing your legs out to the side and bring them out in front of you. Make sure you have enough space behind you to lie down. We're coming down onto our backs. Whatever way that feels good for you, come on down. Once you're on your back, walk your feet out so that your feet are as wide as your mat. So feet flat to the earth. Walk your feet out so they're as wide as the mat. Knees are pointing to the sky. Arms down by your sides. You can pick up your hips and your low back and then try to flatten your low back as you lower it back down to the earth. And then let your knees just fall in together. Right? Super easy, knees fall in together here. Hopefully that feels good on your low back. It should be a bit of a release. And then we're going to make ka arms. So the ka arms are in the image here. I call it flipping the light switch, right? Your arms are bent at 90-degree angle like a goalpost or a cactus. So the back of the hands are flat to the mat. And your upper body is in ka. Yep, all 4 fingers touching, thumbs on the outside. We call those Kemetic palms. Another good opening for the heart meridian here. Knees are falling in together, arms are at 90 degrees. Vision looks straight up to the sky. Tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth. On your next exhale, flip your switch, bring your arms back down to your sides. And give your body what it wants here. Maybe you want to windshield wiper your knees, send them both to one direction, send them both to the opposite direction. Maybe you want to bring your knees into your chest and make small circles on your low back. Maybe you want a happy baby, bring your elbows inside your knees, hands grab the outside of the feet and rock from side to side. Just do whatever feels good to you here. We're preparing for our final relaxation or Sahu pose. After you've gotten all the kinks out, come to lying flat on your back. Legs can be as wide as the mat if you like, or they can be close together. Your hand position when you're lying down. You can return to your pyramid. Place it on your lower abdomen. You can wakanda your arms across your chest. You can take that blanket that's nearby and use it to cover your body. We'll have a nice long rest here. You can bring your palms down to your sides for grounding. You can have your palms up for receiving. Your Sahu pose is your most unbothered state. So find that rest that feels good to you. And you can let your breath go. You can release the rule of 4 breathing. Just return to your normal breath here. There's nothing for you to do now but be. Deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your body. Maybe you rock your head from side to side. Maybe you wiggle your toes, rotate your ankles, or shift left and right on your hips. If your arms are on your body, on an inhale, lift them off your chest about 6 inches. And then exhale, bring your hands down by your sides. On an inhale, bring your ankles to touch. And on an exhale, squeeze your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees, give yourself a big hug. Rock from side to side on your low back or make little circles if that feels good. And then rock over to your left side. The left side is the yin side of the body. Hang out for a minute in fetal position. And then whenever you feel like your rebirth is complete, push yourself back up to seated. At the end of Kemetic Yoga practice, we say Hotep, which means peace be unto you.